Beaumont City Council race. There are 2 open seats, and we have 3 candidates with us here tonight. We'll get into that in just a second. I'd like to start by introducing our moderator. His name is Juan De La Fuente. He's been a longtime resident of both Beaumont and the Pass area. He is an administrator of a couple of well-known Facebook pages in the area, the Three Rings Ranch Facebook page, and the Pass Area Patriots as well. He's also the Banning Police Department chaplain, and he's going to be the moderator tonight, so I'll let Juan take it from here.
So each candidate will begin with a 3-minute introductory statement. The candidates collaborated on a short list of questions to each other and agreed on 3 questions they will be asked tonight. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question, and then the other candidate will also be allowed 2 minutes to answer the same question. The candidates will alternate in the order of making their statements and answering the questions. So I'd like to introduce first Jessica Black. Jessica Black was born in Pennsylvania and moved to California 13 years ago. Before she began teaching here, Jessica worked as a customer service manager for a builder. She's an accomplished educator whose career includes teaching special education for non-public, county, and public education schools. Her lifetime of service includes coaching youth fast pitch, umpire training, church committees, choir, and a variety of civic events and fundraisers. Jessica received a Bachelor of Science degree in education at the University of Pittsburgh, a Master's of Education degree in the Special Education at Ohio University, and is completing her doctorate in educational leadership from California State University, San Bernardino. Jessica considers herself a nonpartisan candidate. Leadership is about working together for the good of the citizens and business owners of Beaumont, not focusing on labels. Jessica, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. White and his crew for putting this together for us. We'd also like to thank the sponsor, Inland Empire Taxpayers Association, and also, of course, Mr. De La Fuente for serving as the moderator this evening and making all of this happen. It gives the citizens of Beaumont an opportunity to get to know the candidates better, despite the circumstances. I would like to thank Mr. Martinez and Mr. Fenn for taking their time and sharing their vision with us. And finally, I want to say thank you to the citizens of Beaumont who care deeply about our city. I am honored to be here. The city of Beaumont is a thriving community with amazing opportunities. We can have it all. We can have a vibrant downtown area that will be a showpiece for our city. We can have affordable homes. We can have parks with family-friendly activities. And we can have a city with a strong infrastructure that provides easy access to both sides of the freeway. The citizens of Beaumont have expressed that they want to keep the small-town, country-like feel and the amazing scenery that we have now. We can do that. The city of Beaumont will be the best place on the pass. We will have it all. I grew up in a place like Beaumont back in Pennsylvania. We had a downtown area with shops and small restaurants. And when Mechanicsburg began to see an explosion of housing and retail, we almost lost our downtown. At that time, my father became a borough council member, and he fought to keep that area viable. He was successful in his battle. I went to school and lived in Pittsburgh when all of the steel mills were closing, and I watched as the downtown area was revitalized into the showpiece that it is today. I have also lived in a town in Ohio that lost their downtown area. I should have stood up at that time, but I was new to the area and I was not confident in my abilities at that time. I will not let that happen again. I will not let that happen to the city of Beaumont. The new housing and commercial areas that have been built provide us with the monies to revitalize our downtown area. Now we need to make it happen. When I think of Beaumont in 5 years, I see a city with a revitalized downtown, with families enjoying local dining, pursuing and of course buying at our boutiques. I see parks that have lush, grassy picnic areas, safe playground equipment and splash zones. I see festivals and celebrations that bring visitors from up and down the pass. Now is the time for strong, innovative leadership, and I will be that leader. Thank you.
Julio Martinez. Julio Martinez is a former mayor of Beaumont and current Beaumont City Council member. He has served as the city representative for the League of California Cities, the Southern California Associations of Governments. He currently serves as a board member in the Western Riverside County Regional Conservation Agency. He has been married for 20 years to his wife Martha, who teaches in Beaumont. They have lived in the city since 2001 and have two sons, Cameron, a freshman at Cal State University San Bernardino, and Ryan, a junior at Beaumont High School. Councilmember Martinez holds a bachelor's degree and master's degree from Cal State University, San Bernardino. He is the former Beaumont City Clerk and has been a teacher at Beaumont High Schools for 16 years. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you so much. Good evening, fellow residents. I'd like to first thank the Beaumont City Council member Lloyd White for hosting this event, along with the Inland Empire Taxpayers Association, and of course our moderator, Mr. De La Fuente. Tonight I want to begin by reviewing with you how our city has progressed during the 4 years I have been your city council member. As a resident of 19 years, I am excited to see Beaumont become such a central figure in the Pass area. I am proud to be a member of a community that has accomplished so much in 4 years compared to the stagnant economy, financial woes, and mismanagement we had just several years ago. I am also proud that as your mayor last year, I was often complimented by city leaders of surrounding communities about the positive changes they have seen in Beaumont. Let's briefly look at the tremendous progress we've seen recently. In the area of finance, the city has a balanced budget for the past 3 years, unheard of in the past. We have created a general fund surplus of over $8.5 million, and we require a 15% minimum financial reserve in our budget. In the area of growth, I have supported our plan to expand our retail and industrial networks. The city has experienced retail growth with the addition of Sonic, Panera, In-N-Out, Cane's, Five Below, and Grocery Outlet, to name just a few. In industrial and distribution growth, the city has welcomed CJ Foods, Wolverine, and Amazon. And in the medical area, the city is proud of the Sundance Corporate Center that includes the new Beaver Medical Complex. In the area of infrastructure, I have emphatically supported the council's decision to approve over $3 million for street improvements, with an additional $5.5 million recently allocated. In the area of community development, I am a strong supporter of community unity. I have supported improvements to our city parks, such as that of Rangel Park, with an improved baseball field, and the future redesign of Stewart Park to act as a central hub to our community, complete with a new water concept, upgraded skate park, and shade structures. In the area of public safety, improvements in the Beaumont Police Department have been made to ensure our officers have the best equipment possible. I have supported the recent purchases of body cams and upgraded non-lethal tasers. And let's not forget the necessity of the Westside Fire Station. I have been an unwavering supporter for the completion and staffing of that new fire station, and I'm happy to say that we predict construction to begin in early 2021. In conclusion, as your re-elected council member, I will continue to prioritize economic growth, the lowering of CFD and Melrose assessments, a controlled budget, street and road improvements, public safety including the completion of the Westside Fire Station, faster progress for Pennsylvania and Highland Springs Avenue improvements, and the creation of good paying jobs for our residents and surrounding communities. Thank you.
David Finn. David is a real estate broker with 21 years of full-time experience with 17 years as a Beaumont homeowner. David has the endorsement of the East Valley Association of Realtors, which shows his great reputation within his industry. David has served our country as a sergeant in the U.S. Army's 701st Military Intelligence Brigade. He has been married to his wife, Misty, for 28 years, and they have 4 sons. David is currently serving as a director for the San Gorgonio Pass Water Agency, where he has lowered property taxes and improved relationships between local agencies. He will resign from this position if elected to the Beaumont City Council. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Good evening, everybody. I wanted to thank first my colleagues here and their intent to serve the community. I think it takes a special person to reach out and to be able to go beyond their comfort zone to be able to serve their community, and I respect them greatly for that. And also want to thank Juan and Lloyd for helping to make this happen. I tend to speak off the cuff and speak from my heart, and so I want to do so this evening. Many years ago, when I was on leave coming home when I was in the Army, I took a drive through Beaumont, and it kind of hit me as a special, beautiful place, and I remembered that. And many years later, when I got out of the service and got married and started having kids, I was working for a new home builder and had the assignment to come up to Beaumont. And then I realized firsthand how nice it was. It was an affordable place to live, and it was a place where somebody can raise a family and be able to survive in California's tough environment. Taxes are high, cost of living is high. There's been a lot of changes I've seen from my father in raising us to what it takes and what my sons are looking at these days to be able to provide a family for them. And so that's something that's always been in the back of my mind, and I've been asked over the years to serve my community and decided to answer the call. And I did that by serving at the San Gregorio Pass Water Agency. It took 2 attempts to make it there. I was appointed to that position by having been there often and being involved. And I even joked with the board who was interviewing me that I felt like that I was their unpaid intern, that I was there so often. Some of the other accomplishments that I had there was lowering property taxes. 4 of the 5 years that I've served there, I pushed really hard to have that happen. Our agency was sitting on $50 million. We do have some debt obligations to pay in the future, and we have some balloon payments coming up. But I could see that just because we have a balanced budget doesn't mean that we spend all the money that we have. And so I had a strong effort and successfully helped the board to make that decision to lower those taxes and to help our citizens. I believe in serving the public and doing our duty, and I've done that so in many cases. I serve in a church leadership position. I've been doing that for several years, and I've served with our youth for many years. I believe that it takes some giving back. It was taught by my father that to leave it better than you found it. And I believe I've done that well. I've done a good job doing that with the water agency, and hope to be able to do that in the future with the Beaumont City Council. And then also just to add to that, I believe in supporting emergency services, and I believe that Beaumont should have a good emergency preparedness plan that's updated often. So should things hit a little closer to home with fires and so forth, that their citizens are prepared and they're taken care of. So thank you.
Okay, we're going to start our first question, and the first question goes to Julio. Why do you believe you are qualified to be a city council member?
Thank you, Juan. Basically, the qualifications I have are integrity, vision, and experience. My integrity can be verified through city staff and my fellow colleagues. As a high school teacher for over 21 years, I have worked with countless students, parents, and educators. I live in this community, the people I know are in this community, neighbors, friends. My reputation is commendable and unblemished. At a time when many distrust government, I want to assure you that I understand and I will listen to your concerns. Concerning vision, I've been a part of the planning process and decision-making for the future of Beaumont. I'm excited to continue the process that we have begun and also implement many of our plans, such as the improvements at Pennsylvania Avenue and that construction of the new fire station, in addition to the revitalization of our downtown area. As for experience, it is absolutely imperative that the city has experience on the council going into times of economic uncertainty. My experience working closely and in tandem with our current council helps to assure the public that informed decisions are being made. My experience and knowledge of the budget and city policies help to ensure that prudent financial decisions are being made as well. In fact, our most recent budget workshop, Council is already making decisions that affect future budgets by using a multi-year forecast. Let me continue to work with Council on these plans. And finally, I'm well qualified to continue as your council member because of proven results. I have contributed to city policy and have recommended action to council through my involvement on various city committees, such as Safety and Memorial, General Plan, Economic Development, Finance and Audit, the Beaumont Cherry Valley Water District Committee, and the Business Assistant Program Committee. Remember, vote for me to vote for integrity, vision, and experience. Thank you.
Same question for you, David. Why do you believe you are qualified to be a city council member?
I believe I'm qualified to be a city council member from the experience that I had in serving the community, both personally and with serving on the San Gorgonio Pass Agency, and also with the type of work that I do. Being a real estate broker, I help people make the largest financial decision they make in their lives. Buying a house is no easy task. But in doing so, and in running a small business, I understand payroll, I understand the regulations that we deal with in California, and I also understand the factors that affect families and businesses in doing so. As a real estate broker, we have many disclosures. When I started in the business, it was just a few pieces of paper, and now it seems like we have a stack this high of disclosures and so forth. But in dealing with that, I've learned that full disclosure is the best policy. And so I can take that information that I've learned and apply that with my role as a city council member. I also, being self-employed, I have a flexible schedule. So I can work through the demands that it will take of a city council member, because there are committee meetings and so forth that will need to be done during business hours that I can serve well in doing that. I also understand that the council reports to the public and that staff reports to the council. And that is a very important rule that a council member needs to make. I understand the council or the staff brings items to the council for consideration, but it should not be just a yes vote just because staff brought it. There should be questions that should be asked and so forth, and I've gained that experience by serving on the water agency. And in serving at that, I was, in just the short time that I was there, I've served as board president for 2 years, and I also have served as the chair of the San Gorgonio Pass Regional Water Alliance, and was elected, or was asked to do that unanimously by my peers that I served with the local water agencies. So they had my confidence, they had the confidence in me, and then I hope that you would too. So thank you.
Thank you. Jessica, same question for you. Why do you believe you are qualified to be a city council member?
I possess both the educational background and the experience to be a strong, innovative leader as a City of Beaumont council member. My ability to create a vision with the people I'm working with has made me a very successful leader in a variety of zones. I have worked in a variety of settings in both private and in the public sectors. I was a founder of a nonprofit organization moving adults with disabilities out of institutions and back to their hometowns. I've created and implemented curriculum and educational programs for some of our most marginalized students. I've led in both educational and in residential settings for children and adults with disabilities. I founded 2 different youth fast pitch organizations that gave kids who couldn't afford it a chance to play at a higher level and potentially earn a scholarship to college. I have earned a Bachelor's of Science degree, a Master's degree, and am completing my doctoral degree in educational leadership. My unique combination of experience and education provides me with the background to research, evaluate, and negotiate issues that address the needs of the citizens and business owners of Beaumont. I've always believed in giving back to my community and have volunteered and served in a variety of settings. Youth sports, teaching adults to read, making food for the homeless, leading the stewardship committee at my church, teaching youth and adults to be fast pitch umpires. I now want to give back to my community at a different level and help lead Beaumont into the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. David, what is your vision of a future Beaumont?
I appreciate the question, put some thought to that, and I would say it's not my vision alone. being a real estate agent and being a member of the community, I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of people. I had the assignment of in the neighborhood that I live in. I worked for a builder for 6 of the 21 years, and that's what brought me to Beaumont. It was kind of fun. It was hard to get out of the grocery store sometimes, that there were so many people that I would run into. But in talking with them and on a daily basis, what I see as a view, what I agree with those of the public, is that Beaumont needs to be a safe place to raise a family and it'd be affordable to do so. Beaumont's a lovely place and we've got great weather and so forth, but property taxes are too high. I brought my tax bill with me this evening. We have $2,000 a year in supplemental property taxes every single year for 30 years. That's $60,000 that I have to pay extra on my home. And with every homeowner that's in Beaumont that has a home built in 2000 and newer, that has the CFD Melrose taxes there. I commend the city on doing a great job in refinancing those CFD bonds, and we'll certainly continue to work hard to continue that effort. Beaumont is what I call the edge of affordability. There are many people who move eastward to try to have a more affordable place to live, but when things get too expensive, they tend to leave. To the east of us and to the south of us, it's getting a little too far for many people's commutes, and so they tend to land in Beaumont. And when Beaumont gets too expensive, they pack up and leave the state. We've lost way too many people from our area, and would certainly work to try to keep them and help them so they can afford to stay here, raise their family here, and retire here, and enjoy the wonderful things that Beaumont has to offer. And so with that, back to that vision, that it be an affordable, safe place to live, and I would certainly support our emergency services in doing so to make sure that happens. Thank you.
Jessica, same question. What is your vision of a future Beaumont?
My vision, sir. I see the city of Beaumont as a leader, not only in the past, but as in California. I see a vibrant, active downtown area with families and shoppers strolling the streets, enjoying the boutiques, and dining at our local eateries, celebrating our high school sports, celebrating the amazing place that we live. I see beautifully landscaped parks with picnic areas, first-rate athletic fields, safe playground equipment, and splash zones. There will be open park areas that will host festivals and celebrations. I see streets that are well kept. I see a community center and city hall that will be practical and user-friendly. I envision top-rated police, fire, and transportation services. I see a city that will be known for its charm and country setting with the amenities of a larger city. The city of Beaumont will be a place where people want to live, where they want to work, where they want to shop, where they want to raise their children, and where they want to worship. In short, I see the city of Beaumont as an amazing place to live, play, and work. Thank you.
Same question for you. What is your vision of a future Beaumont?
Thank you. My overall vision, future Beaumont, is one of a balanced community, ostensibly planned, safe, inviting, and prosperous. Here are some of the components of that vision. Highland Springs and Pennsylvania Avenue will get the attention they need to relieve traffic congestion. Our roads are continually being repaired and street planning adjusted to accommodate our growing population. We continue our economic development by bringing in new businesses to help contribute to city revenues so that we can continue our needed services without an increased tax burden to our residents. With an increase in economic development, we bring in needed jobs to our area. We act on our housing component of the general plan that addresses affordable housing needs for the city. We coordinate with surrounding communities, the county, and the state to address homelessness. We continue to support the needs of law enforcement and fire safety to ensure a safe city. We continue with our plans of a revitalized downtown area that is inviting and walkable with shops, trees, and sitting areas. Our parks are expanded and upgraded and given the attention they need to promote community unity and to help create options for our youth with skate parks, outdoor exercise equipment, courts, and ball fields. Personally, I'd like to see a satellite campus of Cal State San Bernardino built here in our city This would lessen the commute for our students and bring the option of higher education closer to reality for Beaumont and past residents of all ages. And finally, a city government that will continue to listen to the people. A city government made up of individuals with no self-interest and no self-agenda. A government that continues to be transparent, continues to make sensible financial choices, continues to lower CFD assessment commitments when possible. These are just a few components of what I envision as a balanced community. Thank you.
Thank you. Jessica, what is your top priority and why?
Thank you, Mr. De La Fuente. The first thing that is on my to-do list is to strengthen the infrastructure to prepare for a downtown renovation. We can make the outside look pretty, but if the foundation is not strong, all will be for naught. Pennsylvania Avenue, 6th Street, and Beaumont Avenue must be redesigned to safely maximize and enhance the traffic patterns. The drainage issue from the freeway onto Pennsylvania Avenue must be addressed and is actually slated to start in the beginning of 2021. Parking must be created to handle the increase of visitors to our city. Streets need to be paved so that driving is safe throughout the city. Public works and transportation should be moved out of the center of the city to utilize that space better. Once the infrastructure has been sufficiently enhanced, then the work on my number one priority, the renovation of the downtown area, can begin. I'm concerned that the newer retail outlets and the so-called box stores will take away from our small businesses, and people will do all of their shopping at 2nd Street. The downtown area should highlight the rich history of Beaumont and keep that country feeling. According to the research, only about 15% of our shoppers are from out of the area. We need to increase that number significantly to ensure a strong economic foundation. It's important to keep a balance between the old and the new. One should not overshadow the other. Thank you.
Thank you. Julio, what is your top priority and why?
Thank you. My top priority is the development and implementation of a city COVID-19 recovery plan. Economists were already predicting an economic downturn before COVID hit. It will now be essential that our city recover as soon as possible for the sake of city revenue, jobs, and continued services. The city will need to assess the effects of COVID on our community and businesses to determine the needs. For instance, as a part of the Business Assistant Program Committee, the mayor and I recently took a personal talk to many of the small business owners and have heard the struggles they face. The city has already seen many of them close, perhaps permanently. They are an essential part of the city's economy by providing revenue and jobs, and it will be a priority to establish a plan for getting them back in business. And although the city is currently adjusting its policies to help small businesses and providing small assistance grants, I envision a much more aggressive approach that would likely incorporate federal, state, and county resources, as well as the involvement of the city's economic development department. This is just one component of an overall economic recovery plan. In addition to the focus on economic recovery, the city has also recently approved the Household Assistance Program to help residents with funding for rent and mortgage assistance, as well as possible funding for childcare. As a part of our COVID-19 effects assessment, it may be possible that further assistance may be needed in these areas so that workers can return to work. It will be a priority to coordinate with other agencies so that programs that are available for this type of assistance can be matched to residents in need. And as a part of COVID-19 recovery, it will be a priority to develop a budget factoring in the effects of COVID-19 from a possible decrease in sales tax revenue while trying to maintain essential services. This means it will be a challenge to balance expenditures and revenues. Of course, any COVID recovery plan must include safety for business owners, employees, and residents. So any plan for economic recovery must retain safety as a focal point to recovery. In conclusion, be assured that the city's response to the impacts of COVID-19 will remain one of my top priorities. Thank you.
Thank you. David, what is your top priority and why?
Thanks for the question, Juan. I shared earlier a shared vision for Beaumont, but this one's a personal response on this one. And so my top priority is to be transparent. Beaumont had took a pretty big black eye a few years ago, and the city council has done a wonderful job on correcting that. But there's still a little bit of mistrust with the public, and I want to be able to reassure the public that, one, they're in good hands with the council that's there, and I think they've done a good job. But also, too, that I will continue that effort to make sure that things are done above board. One of the hardest things I ever went through in my life was a lie detector test for getting my security clearance for the military. It felt like my whole soul was on trial. I was asked questions like, have you ever falsified a government document? Well, I might have fudged some paperwork before, I don't know. And it was tough. There were things that really rocked my soul to the point where I felt like I wasn't even worthy of being there in that seat and wearing the uniform. But it reminded me on the public trust that's put into a public servant, that we need to make sure that things are done above board. So I will do my best to make sure that integrity is at every level, with myself, with the council, and with staff. I certainly believe in public comment, and I'd like to hear from the public, whether it be positive comments or even negative comments. When we hear the feedback from the public, we find out what's important to us, or to them, so we can apply that to what we're doing and make the changes that we need to. Sometimes it's explaining the process a little bit better, maybe taking a little extra effort in a community workshop or in a public hearing to be able to make sure that the issues at hand are fully explained so that the general public can understand what decision has been made. I've been to public meetings where a vote has been made and it's unclear as to really what they even voted for, and it's unclear in the public's mind. So in that transparency effort, I want to make sure the public knows exactly what we're doing at all times and everything's above board, and then be open to those comments and so forth to do the best I can for the city. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So we now have the closing statements, and you have 1 minute, and we'll start with you, Julio.
Thank you. The city of Beaumont has come a long way these past 4 years. The city has seen street improvements, increased economic development, balanced budgets, financial reserves, jobs have been created, and many residents have seen CFD assessments lowered. Our new wastewater treatment plant has come online, and we will soon be able to produce recycled water. In addition, the city is considering the redesign of Stewart Park to focus on that community-friendly and inviting central hub. As a member of the city's Central General Plan Committee, we've discussed and reviewed plans to redevelop and redesign downtown to bring more economic development and create that walkable retail area. As a member of the recently created Business Assistant Program Committee, we have developed a program to provide financial assistance grants to local businesses. And lastly, I've supported the continued allocation of city funds to further improve our city streets and infrastructures. My vision of the future Beaumont is one of balanced growth and community unity. With the population growth comes the responsibility to ensure that streets, intersections, freeway on and off ramps, jobs, retail growth, parks, recreation, public safety concerns are all addressed. A responsible city government must have the foresight to plan for these areas of concern and ensure action is taken. As for public safety, the city is in the design phase of a new fire station, and I pledge to see that this is becoming reality. In addition, I support the need to create more jobs by working with the city's Economic Development Department and the County Economic Development Department, various nonprofit agencies and corporation and commercial businesses. I believe we can find creative solutions for job creation. Furthermore, I believe my experience on the council will be crucial as the city faces times of economic uncertainty. The city needs experience on the council to make tough decisions concerning budgets. City services and city personnel are in jeopardy. Experience is necessary to continue the programs and plans currently in progress. This is why a vote for me is a vote for vision, integrity, and experience. Thank you.
David, your closing statement.
Thank you. I'll keep mine short. Just a big thank you to everybody involved to make this happen. And for Jessica and Julio, I appreciate you guys being here. I'll close with just saying that anything that I put my heart to, I've got to give it my best effort, and we'll do the same for the city. The city is a wonderful place to live. I believe in a balanced budget. I also believe in that just because it's a balanced budget, it doesn't mean that was the right thing to do. Perhaps taxes should be lowered and some things can be cut back. So we'll certainly look at that to make sure that happens so Beaumont can be an affordable place to live. I love Beaumont. I've lived in many places as an adult, and I finally found a place that's made this home and is able to raise my boys here. And I want to be able to pass that on to the next generation. In the service that we've done with I've done with the water agency, I've seen that the growth is coming and will continue to come, and I'll put every effort to make sure that that's done sensibly and that the jobs can follow that as well, and to work towards making it affordable for all and a good place that someone can work locally and not have to deal with the commutes that most of Southern California has to deal with. Thank you.
Thank you. Jessica, your closing statement?
Thank you. First of all, again, I want to thank Mr. Lloyd and the Inland Empire Taxpayers Organization for creating this forum for the candidates and for the citizens of Beaumont. Thank you, Mr. De La Fuente, for serving as the moderator. And thank you, Mr. Fenn and Mr. Martinez, for your insightful comments this evening. I have a wealth of experience in a variety of settings. This diversity gives me unique knowledge and abilities to accomplish a multitude of things. I have proven myself a strong leader in work, education, and service. My vision and my passion have seen adults with disabilities return to their hometowns. I've seen athletes receive college scholarships and young men in trouble become soldiers. I am ready for the next level of leadership. I have the vision and the passion to move the city of Beaumont into the future. Now is the time for strong, innovative leadership. I will work hard for you. I will be honest with you. I will talk with you about what you want. I am a leader for the future of Beaumont, and we will have it all. Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much for being here and giving us your time. That concludes the Beaumont City Council Forum. Thank you all for watching.